Sin. Yeah. Check it. Yeah. Look. Heavyweight, this the heavyweight. Heavyweight, this the heavyweight. Heavyweight, this the heavy.
Eating real food is the way to feed your higher self. You know what I'm saying? When you eat regular, like processed food, you feed this body. And we are not this body. We are a soul. And you got to find a way to feed the soul, because that's what the government trying to do. Keep us away from feeding our soul. You know what I'm saying? When you eat foods that help you move around, that's how you feed the body. But you got to feed the spirit. You got to.
Do we live in the Matrix?
Yeah, we live in that motherfucker, but you know, only the body does. Only this body lives in the Matrix. This soul, you can always see it. You just gotta learn how to give it more nourishment so it can overpower the body and like see through and see the truth. Real talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, make sure y'all get on it, man. We got the black seed oil right there. We got the maca root powder. We got the cacao powder. We got the chlorophyll, man. We got the organic protein, 50 superfoods protein powder. Listen, man, just get up on it. Get up on it, man. Feed the soul. Feed the soul. Feed the soul. Peace. Yo, 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 what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Sin. Coming back with another one, man. But I had to show y'all that clip, man, because listen, you will never be able to see the truth constantly feeding the body, constantly feeding the flesh. You know what I mean? In more ways than others. Not just with food, but feeding the flesh, giving into your desires. You know what I'm saying? We know about that. You know, feeding the flesh, just doing all of these things that, you know, keep us on a low frequency, a low vibration. You feed the flesh in that way too. You know, but when you do more things that nourish the soul, like he said, that nourish, you know what I mean? You know, your mind and all of that, then that's when you get and begin to rise to a higher conscious, excuse me. You know what I mean? That's when you will start to see changes in your health, changes in your vibration, changes in your mental clarity, changes even in your confidence, changes with how you carry yourself, because you feed the soul more than anything. And I know, you know, sometimes we gon' feed the flesh. You know what I mean? Sometimes we gon' eat what we feel like eating. We gon' do what we want to do. But at the end of the day, when you do more so feeding the soul, then guess what? It's gonna overpower that eventually. You know, you may make a decision to do what you want to do still, but you know, you're not constantly driven by the flesh. You just made a decision, and that's okay. You can't knock yourself for, you know, choosing to do what you want to do sometimes, because now you know the consequences of it. But it's a big difference when you don't know the consequences of these things, and then you just constantly giving in. You constantly feeding the flesh, which means you're gonna be constantly eating bad, constantly eating processed foods, constantly, you know, just in this technology, constantly, you know, having sex. You know, you're gonna be constantly watching pornography. You're gonna be constantly scrolling. You know, and then when you're doing all of those things just because it feels good, you know, and you want to do it, then guess what, bro? You won't be close to seeing how you want to see the things that you need to be seeing, the truths that you need to be knowing. You know, you're not going to know that. You're not going to have that clarity. You won't have those glasses on that the Most High wants you to be wearing, because when you're wearing those, you see things clear. You make better decisions. You know, you become aware of energies, entities, and demons that's around that may can bring you harm. You know what I'm saying? The people that have these things inside of them that may bring you harm. So you listen, you need to be notified of this shit. And when you constantly feeding the soul, then guess what, bro? Your sensories are heightened. You see better than others. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that make you better than anybody, but hell, in your life, you want to be able to see. You know what I'm saying? You want your soul to be intact. You don't want your shit to be open to where demonic energy could take over it. You don't want your shit to be open to where, you know, the lust sin could take over it. The gluttony sin could take over it. You know what I'm saying? The jealousy and the envy get involved in all of that shit. You don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? But when you intact with yourself, when you in alignment and you doing things that's constantly feeding the soul, that's heightening your senses, that's heightening your vibration, that's keeping you on a high frequency, you want to keep doing that. See, but this what happened when you constantly feeding the flesh. That's how you end up in a lot of trouble. That's how you end up so unhealthy. That's when the weight gain come in. That's when the mental health issues come into play. You know what I mean? That's when all of the toxicity and the negativity tend to be around you, bro, because that's what you invite in by constantly feeding the flesh. And that's like ringing the dinner bell to a bunch of zombies that's all about feeding the flesh. You know what I'm saying? That's why you damn near think, if you think about zombies, what zombies want to do? Zombies want to eat the other person. They want to eat the flesh. And when you doing things that's feeding the flesh, like eating bad, you know, like smoking weed, like chasing hoes, like drinking all the time, you know what I'm saying? And I mean doing these things all the time. I'm not saying that you wrong for doing them, but doing these things all the time, then guess what? You gonna keep some all the time motherfuckers around you. You gonna keep some demons, some motherfucking, you know, just energy draining, flesh eating motherfuckers that's around you, vampires that's around you, you know, criminals and motherfuckers that's looking to take that shit from around you because they don't know that you always got it. You know what I mean? You always indulging. You always got the bag. You always got the money to spend. You always got the time. You always got the attention on the wrong shit. So it's like when you just so embedded in that type of behavior, in that vibration, especially, you know, in the lower chakras where most of society is in that, then guess what, bro? That's when you bring all of that energy around you and it's tough to get out of. You know what I'm saying? And you feel trapped internally because now you allowed those things to eat away at you. You allowed those addictions to take over your body. You know what I mean? And that's exactly how addiction works. That's why you really do have to be careful with all of the processed foods, with substance, you know, with the things that you watching. You know what I mean? Even with how you thinking and all of that shit. That's why I say it's important to dump and unlearn some of the things that we have learned because that will affect you. That all of that space and that clutter that's in there, when you got that in there, that's corrupting the mind, that's keeping you, you know, rewired in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? That's keeping that same way of thinking. Then guess what, bro? You just open more doors for that shit to just consume you. And that's what you see when you see people that's extremely overweight, when you see people that's addicted to drugs, when you see people that's addicted to sex, when you see people that's addicted to attention and clout, bro, they are consumed by that. You know what I mean? So they not they self and they can't get to their higher self. They can't get to a higher vibration because their whole body is infiltrated. Their mind is infiltrated. You know, everything about them is far away from their soul because they not feeding that. You know what I'm saying? They feeding the body. They feeding the worldly shit. They feeding, you know what I mean? They meat suit. And that's what you see, a lot of meat suits around here. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of meat suits that's around, and that's why you stick out like a sore damn thumb. And you be wondering, like, why I get the mean looks all the time? Why motherfuckers always mugging me? You know what I mean? Why somebody always trying to find a problem with me? Why these women always act like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just don't want to be around me. You know what I mean? Even with women too, you could kind of sense that you got women that'll look at you because of your light and because of your glow, to where the women start being jealous of you like they would be jealous of another woman. You know what I mean? That happens. You ain't just gonna be getting no choosing signals from no woman because you on this journey or because of your looks. No. If you especially if you're not giving them the attention that they want. You know, and even if you ain't, some women just don't like your vibe. You know what I mean? Some women are jealous of you and your glow and your energy because you stick out like a sore thumb. You know? So they gonna notice, a lot of these women, bro, they notice it off top. They notice it off top in your whole vibration and energy that you not like the rest of everybody else. And then they will look at you like, you know what I mean? Like you one of the females that got a better body than them. Like, what the fuck? When y'all start acting like that towards dudes? Towards dudes, like, yo, you got women that's jealous of dudes now? And yeah, it's for real out here because, like I said, man, you got a bunch of flesh-eating motherfuckers around, and more than likely, these women are that too. These women are that too, so they gonna view you like when you come around as if you taking the attention off of them because they the bait trying to draw in motherfuckers that they could fuck up, that they could fuck over, that they could infiltrate, that they could take energy. They like, damn, you fucking the game up. You know what I'm saying? They like, nah, bro, you in the way. How the fuck? You know what I mean, bro? You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, you got that type of shit around more than anything. So that's why you gotta have that discernment. You gotta be careful, and you gotta definitely feed the soul. Real food too. You know what I mean? Your leafy greens, your vegetables, your tons of fruit. You know what I mean? Get the right supplements. Get your macaroon. Get your ashwagandha. Get your chlorophyll. Feed the soul, man. You know what I mean? Feed the soul. You know bullshit from the real shit. Get you more real shit in your fucking refrigerator, and stop buying everything that got the packets. If you gotta open up shit that got ingredients on it all the time, listen, bro, that shit ain't real food. You know what I mean? If you gotta open up boxes and all of that shit, that more than likely that's not the good shit. That's the processed shit. And I know sometimes you're gonna have shit like that in the crib. You're gonna have granola bars in the crib. You know what I'm saying? I like granola bars too. You may have a bag of chips in the damn crib. I like potato chips too. You know what I'm saying? But you have to feed the soul more than anything. And guess what? That's what's going to separate you from a lot of people. And that's not the goal. The goal is to become your higher self, your highest version. You know what I mean? And be able to tap in with a higher consciousness so you can see what's going on out here. That's the goal. Fuck everybody else. You need to be in alignment and intact with yourself so you could tap in and see things that a lot of people can't. You know, but you're not going to be able to see that shit with all of these things that you putting in your body, all of these things and people that you keeping around you that's blinding you. And definitely this processed food, this fake ass food will blind you if that's all you taking in. You know what I mean? That's why detoxing is important. That's why making sure you drinking your water is important to flush that shit out. A lot of people walking around full of shit and they wondering why they got an attitude. It's because your gut health controls how your mind think. So if your gut fucked up, then how you think you gonna be thinking, bruh? You gonna be thinking fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a stomach that's full of shit with backed up food that's toxic. So therefore you're gonna have toxic thinking. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a toxic emotions, toxic attitude. You know what I mean? You're going to have a toxic outlook on life. It's because it's your gut. It's what you putting in it, bro. You know what I mean? So detox. When you detox, you get rid of shit, bro. We talk about this all the time. Get that shit, flush that shit out of you. Because as long as that's in you, it's affecting your attitude. It's lowering your vibration. It's affecting that too. You know what I mean? It's fucking with your energy big time. That's why a lot of y'all be feeling weighed down and shit like that. It's because you got tons of meat in you, but you're not shitting enough. You're not drinking enough water. Instead, you got pop in you. You got sugar in you. You got processed food in you. Okay? It's time to switch that shit up, bro. You know what I mean? It's time to start doing right. We know what's right, you know, but like everything else, it's a process because we were programmed to eat a lot of these things. We was programmed to think a certain type of way, but now we getting rid of that shit because that's what's been fucking us up. That's what's been keeping us in these hospitals. That's what's been keeping us on these medications. You know what I mean? That's what's been keeping us in a low vibration. You know, that's what's been keeping us toxic, bro. So when you wondering why your skin be breaking out, when you wondering why you're ashy all the time, when you wondering why you feel unmotivated, when you wondering why, you just can't get to the next level of your life, is what you're doing to yourself. You're not putting life in you. You know what I'm saying? So make sure when you out there buying shit, make sure it got the seeds in it. Make sure you buying organic. You know what I mean? Because those are, when shit got the seeds in it, that's the soul that's in the fruit. That's the vitamins, the nutrients that you need. Make sure you getting them leafy greens, bro, because that's gonna help keep that food moving through you. And at the same time, you're gonna pull a lot of vitamins and nutrients out of that as well. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you out there getting your fruit, get your produce, level up. It's time to level up and ditch that old way of thinking, all right? And that's my word, man. My name Jason, the Sinn-Take. Holla at y'all later, man. Peace.
First I'ma get on my grind, then second stop wasting my time on shit less important. If ain't about money, I'm going the other direction. And third, I'ma do what I gotta to eat. Fourth, I'ma sew up the streets. Fifth, I'ma never quit dropping this heat. So as long as I'm breathing, you better get used to me. Sixth, I'ma get